Welcome to a special Stay Tuned this week. We're spending the whole half hour with our guest, Sreenivasan. Thanks for being here with us in the Public Media Commons outside. Nice to be outside. Hari is the senior correspondent for the PBS NewsHour and also the anchor of PBS NewsHour Weekend Edition.
Yep.
In St. Louis for what you see behind me, which is the Pioneer Spirit Awards. Thanks for being with us. We have a lot we'd like to talk to you about, from the state of journalism to current politics in the U.S., but I want to talk just a little bit about you, if you don't mind. I'd like to get to know you just a little bit. Your career track is varied. You've been at the local level, you've been on the commercial side, you're now on the public media side. Did you always want to be a reporter, Hari?
You know, I think I did. When I first immigrated to the country, Peter Jennings gave us the news every night. And by us, I mean my family and I. My mom and dad's English wasn't perhaps as good as mine at the time, so I would literally spend the time translating the news for them. I mean, that was the sort of first exposure I had to news. I probably had no idea, and I was 8 or 9 years old. But once I got into high school, I started doing radio, and I had fun with it. It was basically a license to play music really loud in a soundproof room for 3 hours. Like, who could find a better gig than that? And then eventually my interest started to shift to news a little bit more as I got into college, because I found that there was so much potential of what stories need to be told and who are the storytellers that do that. And if you're not at the table, at the morning meeting, so to speak, at the beginning of whether it's a newspaper or it's a television station, then you don't get to help make that decision. So I just started grinding out internships in the Seattle area, and then I started working in a small market, and it's just been progressing from there. But I think I knew that I probably was not going to be a very good accountant or any kind of job that kept me in a box every day at the same place. I inherently have, I'm sure I probably have some level of attention deficit disorder or something, which I think most reporters have it. And this is the best job if you want a license to stay curious. And I can't imagine doing something more fulfilling than going out and getting to talk to, whether it's a leader of industry or a politician or a homeless person or just a general citizen. And then you also get to have very cool life experiences. You get to go places and be places when sort of history is happening. What else could you do?
A lot of access, it seems like, and not necessarily to the red carpet or behind the rope, but just access to a lot of different walks of life.
Yeah, and I mean, we all have a tendency to report. When you go home and if somebody asks you, "How was your day, honey?" you're probably not going to give them the chronological breakdown minute by minute. You're going to pick an interesting thing or a horrible thing that might have happened on your way to work. You're going to pick something that one of your coworkers said or did. Maybe you're going to tell them about a place that you went. And you've essentially formed what we'd call a package. You gave them 3 sound bites, you gave them a couple of emotions. Well, we're just doing the same thing. We just happen to have cameras and microphones, and we get to go talk to strangers, and we get to come back and tell our friends why this is interesting.